All right, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're driving headfirst into a world full of daring heists and unbelievable robberies from all corners of the globe.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
We're talking about everything. Classic diamond heists,
Oh, wow.
armored car jobs, the classics. We've even got a case involving, get this, maple syrup.
Maple syrup, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a wild one.
Uh,
And we'll also touch upon how technology has shaken things up with, cybercrime becoming more prevalent.
uh-huh.
So
Interesting.
basically, get ready to meet some of the most brilliant masterminds, unravel their intricate schemes, and get right into the heart of this high-stakes world of daring theft.
What I find fascinating is that all these cases, despite being so different, they all kind of point to this universal human desire, right?
hmm
Desire for wealth. And the incredible lengths people are willing to go to get it. It's this constant battle of wits between the criminals and the people trying to catch them.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of audacity, let's kick things off with a case that truly embodies that spirit. The Antwerp diamond heist of 2003. It's often labeled as the heist of the century, and I'm really curious to understand why.
Well, you see, the scale of this heist was just massive. I mean, we're talking about over $100 million worth of diamonds stolen from the Antwerp Diamond Center, a place that was considered to be one of the most secure facilities in the world.
Wow.
And the truly amazing part is that the thieves, led by Leonardo Notarbartolo, they managed to get past all these layers of security, heat sensors, motion detectors, even a vault with like 10 locks. It's unbelievable.
Hold on, how is that even possible? It sounds like something straight out of a movie.
That's the thing you see with these elaborate heists. The planning and execution are often so meticulous, it rivals those Hollywood blockbuster plots. Nodar Bartolo and his crew, they rented an office in the same building month before the actual heist. They posed as, get this, Italian diamond merchants. To gain access, right? And then they carefully studied the security systems. They noted every single camera angle, every sensor placement. They even went so far as to disable the alarm by replacing the live video feed with a pre-recorded loop.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. That's what you call playing the long game.
It's incredible. This was not just some random break-in. This was a meticulously planned operation, a true masterpiece of crime. But they did get caught eventually, so do you think it was all worth it for Nota Bartolo?
That's the big question, isn't it? The temptation of such a huge score, the challenge of outsmarting a system that seems impenetrable, those are powerful motivators. And while Nota Bartolo was eventually caught and convicted, a lot of the diamonds, they were never recovered.
Really?
Yeah, so in a way, you could say he achieved a certain level of success, though I wouldn't exactly call it a win, not in the moral sense.
Yeah, I guess that depends on your definition of winning. But this case really underscores how vital insider knowledge and thorough planning are to pulling off these complex heists. Makes you think, what can be done to improve security and prevent these breaches?
Absolutely, that's the core issue. The Antwerp heist revealed weaknesses in what everyone thought were foolproof systems, so it forced a global reassessment of security protocols. It's like a constant tug of war. Criminals come up with new tactics, and security professionals have to adapt.
A high-stakes chess game, in a sense.
Exactly. And speaking of evolving tactics, let's shift gears and talk about cybercrime. With technology advancing so rapidly, we've seen a move away from those physical heists to virtual ones. Now you've got hackers who can steal millions without even leaving their computer chair.
Right, and you mentioned the Bangladesh bank heist before the show. That one felt like a real-life thriller. Can you walk us through what happened?
Of course. So in 2016, a group of hackers went after the Bangladesh bank. Their goal was to steal almost $1 billion.
$1 billion.
You heard right. They tried to exploit weaknesses in the SWIFT network, the system banks use for international transfers. They used this malware to mess with the SWIFT messages, making the bank think it needed to transfer funds to accounts they controlled.
So it sounds like they almost got away with it. How were they caught? Did they slip up somehow?
Believe it or not, a simple typo was their downfall.
What?
It might sound ridiculous, but in one of their fake transfer requests, they misspelled the word foundation. This little mistake caught the attention of bank officials, and they stopped the transfer before the full amount was gone. The hackers only managed to grab about $81 million in the end.
Wow, the typo saved the day. It's crazy how even in this high-tech world of cybercrime, human error still plays a part.
You're absolutely right. Human error is always a factor. But as technology gets more complex, so do the methods criminals use. And sometimes that means going back to basics, like we saw in the Great Canadian Maple Syrup heist.
Ah, yes. That's the one I was particularly intrigued by. Maple syrup. Who would have thought?
It might sound funny at first, but this was a major operation. Back in 2012, a group of thieves targeted a massive maple syrup storage facility up in Quebec. Over several months, they siphoned off almost 3,000 tons of syrup.
3,000 tons. How do you even move that much syrup?
It was a logistical feat, that's for sure. And to avoid getting caught, they replaced the stolen syrup with water. Can you believe that?
No way. That's incredible. Did it work?
Well, for a while, the total value of the stolen syrup was a staggering $18 million. dollars.
18 million for maple syrup. I'm blown away. But how on earth did they pull it off? Replacing syrup with water without anyone noticing for months. That's crazy.
They had a lot of patience and planned everything down to the last detail. They used trucks to move the syrup and slowly replaced it with water, hoping nobody would notice the difference. But like all good things, their scheme eventually fell apart, and they recovered most of the syrup.
It's amazing. These cases, from diamonds and digital currency to maple syrup, show how creative criminals can be when finding new ways to exploit weaknesses and go after valuable stuff.
Yeah, it's a testament to human ingenuity, though it's a shame it's used this way. And as technology continues to advance at such a rapid pace, it makes you wonder, what does the future hold for heists and robberies? We've gone from meticulous physical break-ins to digital heists capable of wreaking havoc on entire financial systems. What's next? Biometric hacking, AI-driven heists. These are the questions keeping security experts up at night.
It's both fascinating and a little bit scary to think about. It's a constant race, staying ahead of the curve, both for the criminals and the people trying to stop them.
You got it. And with that, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the world of heists and robberies. But don't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, the conversation doesn't have to end here. Keep researching, keep those questions coming, and keep those minds working.
There's a whole world of fascinating heists out there.
And join us next time when we'll take another deep dive into a whole new topic. So until then, stay curious.